Hello, my name is Dr. Richard Humphrey, and for my safety, I am currently speaking to you from an undisclosed location in the United States. I'll explain why in just a few moments. As today, in just 4 minutes from now, I'm going to let you in on a shockingly simple, highly effective method to supercharge your brain health, prevent and reverse brain issues such as dementia, and effortlessly improve memory, focus, and concentration. This breakthrough method is so unbelievably powerful that Mensa International and high IQ societies have globally banned their members from using it, as those who do are unfairly intelligent and focused, and make a mockery of the effort and hard work needed to qualify as a member. Used daily by 39,144 people, and counting, backed by years of revolutionary off-the-grid research into our brain by a leading neuroscientist, and supported by countless peer-reviewed medical journals. This controversial brain trick has now been scientifically proven to drastically improve cognitive functions and stimulate and regrow neurons permanently. And it's something you can do right this second from the comfort of your own home, without doing a single brain-training puzzle, without opening a single book, and without undergoing a single test. In fact, without learning a single thing, but this one mind-blowingly simple and effective method that connects neurons like magnets and restores your mind back to its configuration when you were in your 20s, no matter your age or your current cognitive condition. If you or a loved one has been noticing symptoms of declining brain health, such as forgetting your keys, forgetting people's names, difficulty communicating, loss of balance and coordination, even personality changes, or if there has already been a diagnosis of dementia or Alzheimer's, or you simply want to improve and maintain your healthy mind for years to come, then watch this video to the end, and you'll discover just how easy it is to reverse and prevent any of these issues from ever taking hold, even if you thought your prime years of brain health were gone and never coming back. You're about to discover how, for just a couple of minutes each day, for only 14 days, you can reprogram the way your brain works forever. No forgetfulness, no embarrassing senior moments, no fog that clouds judgment and creates confusion. Just a clear head where memories are formed and kept the second they are made with almost unparalleled mental acuity. Reversing and preventing any brain issue, such as dementia and Alzheimer's, all attained through a single one-of-a-kind method, backed up by solid science, no drugs involved. So, if this is so easy, why haven't you heard about it before? It comes down to this: $10.1 billion. That's the amount of money the world currently spends on Alzheimer's drugs. Drugs that my colleagues and I have discovered are ineffective in the long term. Nevertheless, the companies making a killing on these drugs are determined to keep their market and silence those of us who are trying to get the truth out. As soon as I started trying to bring these incredibly powerful brain exercises into the mainstream, I also started receiving cease and desist orders, and even threats against my life and that of my family. In the face of this blatant intimidation campaign, I'm sure you can understand why I'm hesitant to reveal my location to you today. The high IQ elite, top government officials, doctors, lawyers, and more are desperate to keep this closely guarded, controversial secret to themselves, as it has the power to level the playing field. Branding Big Pharma's medications pointless, brain training games and puzzles a waste of time, and examinations and aptitude tests useless. So, if you're serious about improving your own or a loved one's mind, memory, and brain health, then pay close attention as I show you just how easy this can be, especially because with all the pressure by the powers that be to take this video offline and keep it out of your reach, I really don't know how much longer we'll be able to keep it up. This video, which will take just a few minutes of your time, may just be the most important thing you have watched all year. Can you imagine, in just 2 weeks from now, enjoying a new you? No more embarrassing senior moments or brain fog. No more confusion or inability to perform day-to-day tasks. No more worries about dementia or other brain issues worsening or ever taking hold. No more worries about the burden you may become to your loved ones as your condition progresses. If you think this all sounds too good to be true, then I understand. And if I wasn't the one who experienced firsthand the effectiveness of this strange brain trick, I would still be thinking the same thing. This remarkable method, which comes directly from a 104-year-old professor, has now helped over 39,000 people finally take back control over their mind, such as Herbert Duckworth from Texas, who wrote in to say,
"Hi Richard, my name is Herbert Duckworth. It was a really worrying time for both me and my family when I started showing signs of losing my memory and deteriorating brain health. I tried to ignore it and hope the symptoms would go away, but they sadly only got worse. It all started as forgetting things around the house, until one day I forgot the gas cooker was on and nearly went and blew up the whole place. Well, I've been following the steps you outline in your secret for just 16 days, and in the last 4 days, my results have been breathtaking. No more forgetfulness, no more confusion, and no more leaving the gas on. I honestly feel as sharp as I did when I was a young man. I cannot wait to see what the future has to bring. Regards, Herbert."
and Barbara Flores from Missouri, who said,
Hi, Richard. I just really wanted to thank you personally for sharing your secret to improving the brain health of my husband. I mean, over the past 3 years, I have watched him go from a loving and caring and an intelligent man to someone who barely even recognizes me. And right now, not even 13 days has passed, and we're both extremely startled at how much progress that he's made from just a few minutes of our time each day. And he's able to sit up and converse and talk to me, and for the first time in years, he's told me thank you and how much he loves me. And I'm sorry, this has made me very emotional, as you could probably guess, and it's just really all thanks to you and what you've taught me, and I just really have to thank you from the bottom of my heart for giving my husband and me our lives back. So I just wanted to give you our best wishes. Much love, Barbara Flores.
And Johnny Edwards from Michigan, who emailed saying,
Hello, Richard. After being diagnosed with dementia 3 months ago, I feel privileged having been given the opportunity to test drive your secret to supercharging my brain health and preventing this problem to take hold. I do not hold much hope for this secret, as I'm honestly a very skeptical person by nature, but I really had nothing to lose. I am on day 11, and I can safely say my skepticism was not necessary. My senior moments have since disappeared for good. I recently took a trip to my doctor, and he couldn't even explain it himself. However this method works, it works, and that's the most important thing. Thank you, Johnny.
As I mentioned, my name is Dr. Richard Humphrey, and for the past 25 years, I have dedicated my life to the study of our brain in the field known as neuroscience. After graduating with a doctorate in neurobiology and behavior from Columbia University Medical Center, I have worked in many top medical establishments and laboratories and helped carry out cutting-edge research alongside a team of respected scientists into the true working of our brain and nervous system, the functionality of memory, cognitive science, and in particular brain issues such as dementia and Alzheimer's. While we made significant progress and discoveries researching in one of the most high-tech labs in the country, nothing has come close in magnitude to the discovery I made outside of the lab just months ago. It was August 2013. I was driving back from a long, arduous day at a research facility in western New York. I was chuckling to myself in the car at a rather funny incident that happened in our lab earlier that day. A young and clumsy intern had accidentally dropped some cesium into a vial of water. As the elements combined, there was an almighty crashing sound as the liquid spurted high into the air, drenching the intern and the ceiling. He was safe, albeit a little shocked, but I couldn't help but laugh. You're probably wondering why I'm telling you this. Well, it will all become clear in just a second. As I got home, I greeted my wife Julie, and we sat at the table to discuss our day, as we have done for the past 20 years. At the time, she was working as a nurse in the city. I recounted my little amusing anecdote. We both laughed, and I thought nothing of it. Later that night, I brought up the intern in our conversation. What intern? She said. What do you mean? I said. What we spoke about earlier. She could not remember a single detail of my story, and thought I was joking that I had told her earlier. I put it down to her being tired and not paying attention. The next day after work, I decided to describe the same story, and got the same response and laughter. Now I knew something was up. The third day, once again, I told her the same story, and got exactly the same response, as if it was the first time she was ever hearing it. At that moment, my heart sank. I knew this was the start of a long and upsetting road for both of us. I had seen these symptoms in thousands of my patients, and worse, this was my wife, my closest companion, and she had dementia. Day by day, her condition was deteriorating. She was not only forgetting small things like her keys and handbag, but starting to forget the names of friends, objects, and relatives. It was disheartening and traumatizing for both of us. Her short-term memory was declining fast, and with so many years of experience dealing with brain issues, I had never seen such a rapid decline in mental acuity, memory, and cognitive function. Worse still, she had no ability to remember she even had a problem. I knew of several medications that could be used to treat dementia, but didn't dare to use them on her. In all my research, I had yet to find a proven solution to preventing and reversing this condition, and the last thing I wanted was to fill her with unnatural and untested chemicals. Not many doctors will be honest enough to tell you that, and I even may get in trouble for doing so. But truthfully, I don't know of a single doctor or colleague who would prescribe these medications for their friends or family. There's simply no proof that they actually work. So I kept on plugging to try to find a way to help her. I ran MRI after MRI, all to no avail. Then one day, a close friend of mine recommended I visit a professor of hers, who she said may be able to help me. This gentleman was 104 years old and had always been on the fringe of neuroscience as far as I knew. But in complete desperation, and with nothing to lose, I made the 8-hour drive to visit Professor Wilson in Ottawa. Honestly, I had no hopes for the visit. What could a 104-year-old man teach me? Would this man even be coherent, let alone able to help me with my wife and her situation? As I walked up the narrow path to his house, I was expecting a slow, out-of-touch old man. But when the door opened, I saw an old, but bright-eyed man standing before me. "Come in," he said. I walked into an apartment that could have been mine in college days. He had all the latest gadgets, and a ton of those brain-bending board games we all used to have. But most prominent was Professor Wilson's personality. I couldn't help but notice how fast and alert he was for his age. He was quick-witted and attentive. If he wasn't standing in front of me, I'd have figured he was 75 years younger. It was something I had never seen in my entire life, and he didn't even see it as something special. I had to inquire more. There was something utterly remarkable about this man, so I asked him to describe his day-to-day activities. Everything seemed normal apart from two key things that were far different from my lifestyle. The first and most important step was how Professor Wilson prepared his mind in the morning. Just as we do our teeth, wash and dress for the day, thus we must prepare our mind for the day, he said. The brain is an organ, much like our heart, so why on earth do we not exercise it too? He then led me through his collection of over 30 unusual 5-minute brain training tricks. He stressed that the power behind these exercises lies in the fact that you can perform them anytime and anywhere.